Hi guys, Bran here, and welcome to another commentary video. Yes, I am recording on the same day, because you eagle-eyed viewers will notice that I'm still wearing the same clothes. No, I am not going to change clothes to pretend I'm not recording on the same day. I'm recording on the same day. You can't tell me out of my life, I'm not changing that. Anyways, we're going to be talking about a conversation that we had on stream lately at twitch.tv/TheMrEddick. If you want to see me continue to rise through the ranks as the top xenomorphs in the world, currently number 3, you are more than welcome to come by. But on this said stream, we've had a discussion where someone said, and I quote, that tunneling is required in 2023, and they gave a long spiel afterwards talking about why they think that in 2023 that tunneling is necessary. Now, like with most things in life, you know, there's some truth here, but there's actually a lot that doesn't really add up at the same time. So we're going to talk about why this person feels this way and why it's sort of valid, but for the most part, I'm not inclined to agree. So yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. So this person's rationale was that tunneling is required in 2023 because there's a lot of oppressive perks, there's a lot of oppressive maps, and teams are just, on average, typically really, really good. It's something they said. So in general, having to back-to-back hook someone in order to, we'll just call it what it is. It's tunneling. Back-to-back hooking people is tunneling. Tunneling someone out in order to make it more of a 3v1 setting as soon as possible is, by their standards, necessary because of all these oppressive factors. Now, something that I have talked about on both the YouTube, the stream before, is something I like to refer to as catch-up tools. There are certain catch-up tools that you have as killer to save a match if things are going awry, if things are not going your way. And one of these is tunneling. The three main things that you have in Dead by Daylight as catch-up tools are camping, which has been nerfed because of the anti-camp measure, so now you have to proxy if you want to do that. Tunneling, and the basement. Those are the three tools, the catch-up tools that you have if a match is going awry, things are not going your way, that you can use to catch up. So if you're getting down to 2 gens, nobody's dead yet on the survivor team, you got to make that happen as soon as possible. So you break out one of the 3 catch-up tools. You check somebody in the basement, you proxy camp them, or you tunnel them in order to make that death happen as soon as possible. That way you can try to save and recover the match. So why would somebody come to the conclusion that tunneling is required in 2023? And I think it's actually kind of intrinsically tied to this whole idea of catch-up tools. Like I said, buy 2 gens, you need somebody dead. And if you don't have that situation, you need to make it happen. You've probably heard this if you watch the match review segments that happen like every 2 days. You've probably seen that. You've probably seen me say that a lot. Now, there's kind of like a sliding scale that's happening here, that it happens for every person, right? And this is why you get so many different levels of perception of the game, is that people are across many vast different skill levels, whether that be I'm a beginner, I'm starting to understand, I'm pretty adept at the game, I'm an expert, and then a veteran, which would be something like Otz's level of investment into the game, right? So there's a lot of different levels of experience in this game and success in this game that you have. And I think that most people in Dead by Daylight really don't get out of this kind of I'm learning, I'm getting used to the game kind of era, because while I do say this a lot, that Dead by Daylight, comparably to other games like FPSs and MOBAs and stuff, is easier to learn than most versus games. It is still a game that takes a lot of time and effort to learn and to master. So most people don't hit that zone of mastering the game. So what does this matter? Well, if we're looking at something like catch-up tools, there are a lot of matches, in my example, with over 5,000 hours, that I don't ever have to use my catch-up tools. Usually the situations I end up tunneling are not because I'm trying to catch up. It's usually because just somebody body blocked with their off the hook BT, and I'm just get out of my way. That's usually the situations I end up tunneling. But I'll usually need to catch up once or twice a day out of a 5 to 7 hour play session. I'll usually have to do that once or twice, maybe sometimes 3 times, if it's just a bad day. But if you're someone that does not particularly have a lot of experience in the game and you're not particularly adept at the game yet, you may be running into the idea that you need to be using your catch-up tools almost every game. And there's a lot of stuff that you're probably doing on a micro level that you're not noticing that is making the games harder for you that's making you rely on catch-up tools more often than you probably should. That's kind of the whole purpose of the match reviews, is that I'm trying to make you become more consistent. That way you don't have to rely on catch-up tools like camping, tunneling, and throwing somebody in the basement in order to win your matches in a consistent way. Because honestly, I'm sure you guys have been in the situation, it's kind of stressful, right? You're like, oh my gosh, this match is going downhill. I gotta tunnel. I have to, right? It's kind of a stressful thing. Like, it's like a very, it's a panicked situation, right? And, you know, panic is uncomfortable and it doesn't make you feel good, right? Just inherently. So, when I'm trying to teach people how to play better on the match reviews, I'm not trying to train you for comp. I'm not trying to make you sweat every game. I'm just trying to help you not have to rely on catch-up tools and cut down on the mistakes that you're making in the middle of the match, so you don't have to put yourself in that stressful situation, or, you know, make you think that tunneling is absolutely required to win your matches. If you're not following, if somehow all this explanation did not make sense to you, I'm saying that, yeah, tunneling is probably required for someone who is particularly probably not the best at the game yet, because you're probably having really long chases, or not knowing where people are on gens, or not bringing particularly good perks because you don't have all the teachables yet. Stuff like that, yeah, if you're not good at the game yet, or have the resources to be good at the game yet, yeah, tunneling probably is required for you because you're not playing efficiently as you could in the middle of the game, in the actual normal, like the normal gameplay flow of the match. So you're having to resort to your catch-up tools more often than somebody who is better at the game, or, you know, somebody that has all their teachables, or etc., right? So you may be relying on basement, camping, and tunneling, because those are available at all skill levels. The catch-up tools do not disappear based on skill level. Those are always there. Those are always there for you. Whereas, you know, having shorter chases, having good macro sense, that stuff you have to learn and get better at. And you have to obtain those. Those aren't just inherent like the other three are. So I think that is kind of like the asterisk that makes this make sense, is that no, tunneling is not required in Dead by Daylight in 2023. But for some people it is, because they're just not there yet. They're not at a point where they can win without that I don't want to say crutch, because it's probably offend someone. Somebody's probably not going to like that. But, you know, you may still be relying a lot on these catch-up tools rather than your own skill, at least initially. And then as you get better, you'll probably see the light and you're like, I don't really have to tunnel most of my games anymore because my chases are just shorter. And you're gonna be like, good for you. I'm happy and I'm proud of you. And if you want to have me personally help you with that, the link for the match reviews is always in the description. I record those every Monday, and if you're not present for them on the Twitch channel, the Mr. Headache, you know, if you're not there to presently watch, I post them up on the YouTube. You see those every 2 days. So if you want me to personally help you with that, that is how you go about that. Yeah, long and short of it, I don't think tunneling is required in 2023. I just think that the better you get, the less you need to rely on it. And, you know, if you're not at that point yet, you're not adept yet, you're probably needing to use it a lot. So yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think tunneling is required in Dead by Daylight in 2023? Let me know down in the comments below. But on that is going to be it for today's video. But I do upload daily, so I will see you tomorrow. But if I do not, I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.